Hey everybody, meteorologist Sarah Gannon here. We have a first alert day in place for our Thursday, tracking the threat for strong to severe thunderstorms in the area. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch for counties highlighted in pink here, much of the Highway 52 corridor and to the west, also to the north. Also with this, Goodhue and Wabasha counties here also included. The severe thunderstorm watch is in place until 8 o'clock tonight. Notice here a couple counties in North Iowa, Winnebago and Hancock counties and areas west of that into northwestern Iowa in a tornado watch that also is in effect until 8 o'clock here tonight. So tracking the threat for strong to severe thunderstorms this afternoon. We're looking at an area east of Highway 52 with some showers, a couple rumbles of thunder here developing, not expected to be severe. The main line of severe weather is still off to our west, making its way closer to the Mankato area at this hour. This is all developing ahead of and along a cold front. You can see areas there into western Iowa where severe thunderstorms are currently happening, those orange polygons there. So we're looking to continue to see this line here on our off to our west continue to push east here, and that will bring our severe threat to the area tonight. We're in a level 2 out of a level 5 severe threat for areas highlighted in yellow. This is where we have the best chance of seeing that severe weather in the local area. So rain chances, thunderstorm chances increasing here over the next hour or so, especially after about 5-6 o'clock this evening, starting to see those thunderstorms making their way to the I-35 region, and will continue to move east as the night continues. After about midnight tonight, we should be looking at some much drier and quieter conditions here for the area. Live look outside from your Lewis Noddle live camera. You can see off to the west those dark cloudy skies here continuing to loom off into the distance. Right now we are looking at temperatures into the 60s and 70s. Notice dew points into those 60s as well, and we'll have a very moisture rich atmosphere for thunderstorms to develop. Looking forward though to some quiet, comfortable, sunny and seasonal conditions here heading into our Friday. A great way to round out the work week. We'll talk more about those first alert forecast details later on in the broadcast. We'll be right back with more Midwest Access. Welcome back to Midwest Access. I'm meteorologist Sarah Gannon with a first alert update for you on this first alert Thursday, tracking some stormy conditions on the way for the evening hours. Right now, kind of in a lull at a quiet point here at this point in time. But as I mentioned on this first alert day, looking ahead to those thunderstorms. Severe thunderstorm watch in place until 8 o'clock here this evening for counties highlighted in pink. So this does include counties along the Highway 52 corridor, also Goodhue and Wabasha counties, and then areas to the west and to the north, into the Twin Cities metro area and into the northern portions of Minnesota. Again, this severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 8 o'clock here tonight. Notice in the yellow we have a tornado watch, and this does include 2 of our Iowa counties just west of the I-35 region, and that's for Winnebago and Hancock counties in North Iowa. And this does include areas further west as well. Greater risk for tornadic activity in Iowa versus in Minnesota. While that tornadic threat is low for Minnesota, not entirely zero. So severe thunderstorm watch is in the pink, that tornado watch in the yellow. Looking at future track radar, we have kind of 2 different bands here of some thunderstorm activity. This first one that's making its way across the Mississippi Riverside, not severe. Not expecting it to be severe. You may see some lightning here, some thunder. Heavy rainfall would be the main concern in that case. Kind of a lull between band A and the main event. So main line of thunderstorm activity still west of the area, west of I-35, but we're seeing more of these thunderstorms popping and developing here this evening. So all of this activity was riding right along that cold front. Cold front at this point, it looks further behind that system, but that cold front is pushing east and driving those thunderstorms and that thunderstorm development. Just takes a little bit for our system to update with that fresh set of surface map graphics. So again, cold fronts is pushing along this thunderstorm development. Notice in western Iowa, we have that severe activity here at this point in time. Not quite seeing that severe activity at this point in time here in western Minnesota. It's in Iowa right now, just waiting for those thunderstorms to reach that severe criteria in Minnesota. Level 2 out of level 5 severe threats for areas highlighted in yellow here. This does include the entire KTTC viewing area this evening. Looking at those storm threats for the area, tornadic threat has adjusted slightly, pushing a little bit further north there into northern Iowa. It does clip Algona into the Mason City area. So for the most part, majority of our area looking at a lower tornado threat. However, in that level 2, which is the brown, there into portions of North Iowa, maybe a tornadic threat is possible. So a better chance maybe for a couple isolated tornadoes into North Iowa, hence why they have that tornado watch in that region. Wind and hail, though, will locally be the main hazards here across Iowa and especially into Minnesota. We could be looking at wind gusts upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour, hail upwards of 1 to 2 inch in diameter. So some large hail may be at play as well. Looking at future track timing things out here for this evening, we'll really start to see some development along the I-35 region by about 6 o'clock here tonight, heading towards the Highway 52 corridor, closer to about 7 o'clock and continuing to move east as the night progresses. Notice by about 10 o'clock becoming that severe threat, I think, gradually starting to wane, but heavy rainfall then becoming that main concern as thunderstorms continue to push east. Again, that cold front driving things out of the area. After midnight tonight, we'll see showers and thunderstorms ending and conditions becoming much drier heading into Friday morning. So a dry start to Friday, beautiful weather then in place. A live look outside from your Lewis Sonato live camera. We are looking at some cloudy and kind of dark looking clouds there in the distance. Temperatures warm into the 60s and 70s. Dew points into the 60s, well into the 60s. We can feel that humidity, very moisture rich atmosphere. Great fuel for those thunderstorms to develop. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, though, things looking really fantastic. Some beautiful sunshine in place. Temperatures very seasonal into those upper 50s to low 60s. Here's that 10-day forecast. Things a lot quieter heading into the weekend. We'll track a chance for some thunderstorm activity again come Monday. Otherwise, temperatures holding pretty steady with quieter weather continuing next week outside of Monday. That's a look at your first alert weather.
5 o'clock. Let's get one last check on that forecast during Midwest Access with Sarah.
We continue to track those thunderstorms still off to our west. Nothing quite severe just yet off west of 35, but we are keeping a very close eye on that. And we continue to look ahead to some quiet weather this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen has those first alert forecast details for you in just a few minutes. And we continue to track thunderstorms across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. The latest on that storm threat for tonight in your first alert forecast next.
Your first local late news from your trusted news leader. This is KTTC News at 9 on Fox.
A new round of storms brings heavy rain and thunder across the area. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Olivia Prunzinski, joined by meteorologist Sarah Gannon. Now, Sarah, a couple of warnings just expired just in the last minute or so.
That's right. We are at this point in time warning free and watch free here in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. We still have some thunderstorm activity. We still have some heavy rain, some lightning, some thunder moving through. But the good news is I think the severe threat now waning for tonight, diminishing. And I think if you're ready to head off to bed tonight, you are safe to do so. I think we're pretty much in the clear at this point in time. Looking at future track radar, we still have this band of some heavy rainfall. This is the leading edge of those thunderstorms, but very disorganized compared to what is to our south. So at this point, again, we are warning free at this point in time. National Weather Service has expired that severe thunderstorm watch for our region. Still some heavy, some pockets of rainfall, a secondary band of rain expected here on the backside of this leading edge. The cold fronts will gradually see move through the area here later on tonight. We'll see a change in our dew points and temperatures, cooler, drier air on the backside of that frontal boundary. So tomorrow looking fabulous. We'll see widespread sunshine and we'll look at temperatures very seasonal in the upper 50s, more so low 60s, but much drier, more comfortable air on the way for tomorrow and into Saturday. So welcoming us into the weekend here very comfortably.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. We'll check back in soon.
We continue to track some thunderstorm activity out there this evening. It looks like our severe threat's over with for tonight, so giving the all clear. We may still see some strong storms moving through with some gusty winds and some heavy rainfall, especially along that leading edge. We'll continue on with some more wet weather here tonight. More on those first alert forecast details as we look ahead to a beautiful weekend. That's next. It has been a busy day in the weather department as we track our latest round of strong and severe thunderstorm activity just coming into the weather center here moments ago. And I mean that literally moments ago. New severe thunderstorm warning. It does clip a very, very small portion of Winona County here this evening. But most of this is for across the river into Wisconsin. So still looking at some heavy rainfall, some strong gusty winds on that leading edge of that front. But it looks like it's starting to bow out just a bit here towards Winona and across the river into Wisconsin. So Jackson, La Crosse, Monroe, Trempealeau counties here. That warning will be in effect until 10:15 this evening. Wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour is the main hazard with that line. Zooming a little bit further out here, you can see where we have that leading edge of that thunderstorm activity. A lot of heavy rainfall, lightning, thunder happening there on that leading edge. Still some gusty winds, and in that case, just around the Winona area, still looking at some stronger wind gusts. We have kind of a secondary line of some rain activity. We'll be looking at some moderate showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder there, but most of that thunder and lightning kind of on that initial edge there. Cold front still back behind here, so most of the system now becoming a little bit more disorganized and too far ahead of the front, so kind of dying out. The good news is that severe threat over with for the majority of us. Of course, we just had that new warning come in, but still a very moisture-rich atmosphere here overhead. Notice off to the west, Mankato, you'll see this change soon. Notice that cooler, drier air on the backside there. That's behind that cold front. That's what's in store for tomorrow. Heading into the rest of tonight, we'll see this line of thunderstorm and shower activity continue to move through. Pretty much out of here by midnight, still seeing some light rain activity, especially east of the I-35 area. Through about midnight, most of that should be done and over with by about 3 a.m. or so. So heading into your Friday morning commute, dry, quiet, a lot cooler once that cold front finally passes through. Heading into tomorrow, a beautiful day, widespread sunshine, high temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. We'll see some light winds. And again, certainly noticing big time that change in those dew points, that lack of humidity, that cooler, drier, more comfortable air. Keeping an eye on that, though, as we head into the weekend, as we track our next potential weather maker come Monday, moving from one system to the next. A severe storm outlook looking at maybe a level 2 risk for parts of northern Iowa here at this point in time for Monday. Further out, though, I think areas to our south right now have that better chance of that level 3 threat. So we'll monitor this very closely here into your Friday and especially throughout this weekend for any severe potential that may be on the way for next Monday. 7-day forecast here for the Mankato area, looking at some other rain chances Sunday and into Monday, but otherwise temperatures seasonal in the 50s and 60s. 10-day forecast for the Rochester area. We should stay dry here tomorrow and Saturday, maybe late Sunday into Monday, bringing in that next rain chance. Storms, though, possible by Monday, but temperature-wise, very seasonal here at the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend looking wonderful.
Yes, get outside if you're able.
Thanks, Sarah.
We continue to track the threat for some thunderstorm and some shower activity here for the next couple of hours. Gearing up, though, for some beautiful weather heading into our Friday and into Saturday. We'll break down more of those first alert forecast details for you next. And we continue to track showers and thunderstorms across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. But how was the weekend shaping up? More in your first alert forecast details next.
Your first local late news from your trusted news leader. This is KTTC News at 9 on Fox.
Thanks for sticking with us. As the storms start to move across the area, some things popping up a little bit on the east part of our viewing area.
Right. A lot of these storms now crossing the I-35 corridor. So it's the eastern half of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa that we're watching these thunderstorms to roll through. Kind of looking at two bands of activity moving through. There is a severe thunderstorm warning that is just clipping the far southernmost corner of Winona County near where La Crescent would be. So most of this morning, though, is across the river into Wisconsin. And this is the one line, initial line, where we could be looking still at some thunder, some lightning, some gusty winds initially, heavy rainfall as well. But we also have kind of a secondary band of some rainfall. So you go from heavy rain to light rain, moderate rain, and then we'll kind of wrap up heading into the overnight. So cold front still well off to our west. It'll eventually catch up and continue to push out those storms to the east. So still expect to see the next couple of hours with some rain activity, things dying down after about midnight here tonight. Looking ahead to tomorrow, beautiful weather. We're looking at some low 60s and widespread sunshine and a lot cooler and drier air mass overhead. So we'll break down more of those weekend forecast details ahead in your first alert weather. Olivia? And we continue to track those showers and thunderstorms rumbling through the area here this evening. We may still have to watch out for some strong winds in the area, especially along that leading edge, but most of that out of here tonight. Heading into tomorrow, tracking drier, more comfortable air, widespread sunshine, and comfortable seasonal temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. More on that first alert forecast ahead. Continuing to track shower and thunderstorm activity here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Areas west of I-35 pretty much done for with the rain here for tonight. Areas east still have some time here to go. We still have a couple counties towards Mississippi Riverside along the leading edge of that thunderstorm line. So still expect some heavy rainfall, some gusty winds, a lot of thunder and lightning. Back behind that, though, a bit of a secondary line, still some moderate rainfall, but less lightning, less thunder, maybe some gusty wind, but more of that towards the leading edge. So we're almost done with that rainfall. Cold front still has to catch up. It's still off to the west. We'll continue to see that push east here through the rest of tonight, but a lot of this activity continuing to move further east. You can still see some severe thunderstorm warnings in the area just outside of our local viewing area, but still within the upper Midwest and especially south of us, looking at quite a few of those warnings. Like I said, a lot of moisture is still in the area due to the front not passing by just yet, but we still have dew points in the 50s and 60s here in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. Notice behind the cold front here, you can see where that frontal boundary is sitting right now, where we have the moisture-rich atmosphere and the drier air back behind that frontal boundary. So gearing up for lower dew points and less humidity by tomorrow morning as we continue to see that front pushing east. Mankato starting to get a taste of that with dew points now back to the 40s. We're still sitting into the mid-50s for dew points here in Rochester. Timing things out for the rest of tonight, I think most of this rain activity is out of here by midnight, but still some lingering showers may remain till about 3 o'clock in the morning. After that, we're done for. We clear out the sky and we're looking forward to some sunshine here by Friday morning. So a very easy, quiet morning commute on the way for Friday. Afternoon high temperatures should be climbing into the upper 50s, low 60s. Widespread sun all day, comfortable conditions, a light breeze, a beautiful, beautiful day here on tap for Friday. We'll continue to track those quiet conditions into Saturday. However, already starting to keep an eye on Monday. Here's a look at that severe storm outlook for day 5. So again, Monday, parts of North Iowa may be potentially looking at another round of some thunderstorm activity in the area. Some strong severe storms may be possible. Isolated at this point in time, level 2 threat in place for North Iowa. So we'll track that here through this weekend and especially heading into Monday. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast for the Mankato area. Temperatures holding pretty steady in the 50s and 60s here for the next 7 days. We'll keep an eye on some rain chances this weekend and especially into Monday. Sunday might be warm for the area with highs approaching that 70-degree mark. Here's a look at that 10-day forecast for Rochester. A quiet Friday and Saturday in place. We'll watch late Sunday into Monday for some rain chances, mainly that thunderstorm threat come Monday. So we'll monitor that possibility of maybe some severe storms in the area for Monday. We'll monitor that here tomorrow and through this weekend. But next weekend looking really nice, a multi-day stretch. Could get 5, 6, 7 days there with some sunny conditions and comfortable temps in the 50s.
And certainly glad that things tonight stayed on the calmer side.
Yes, a couple isolated severe thunderstorm warnings, some reports of some smaller hail in the area, some gusty winds, but thankfully kind of on the more sparse side with that severe activity tonight.
All right, thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Nick. Here's one more look at your 10-day forecast. Looking at some quiet weather, more comfortable too, not as much humidity on the way for your Friday. Some sunshine, highs there in the upper 50s to low 60s. Keeping with that quiet weather pattern Saturday, extending into early Sunday before we bring back some rain chances, some storms may be possible by Monday. We'll keep a close eye on that potential next week, though, looking very pleasant. The sunshine and the seasonal temps in the 50s and 60s.
Glad the sunshine will be back tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's not gone for too long.
No, it's not.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Severe thunderstorm warnings in some parts of the viewing area as we wind down another first alert day. Thanks for being with us, everyone. I'm Brock Burgee.
And I'm Olivia Pronzinski. Fortunately, this system hasn't produced the weather maker that we saw back on Friday. Meteorologist Sarah Gannon joins us off the top tonight. Sarah, is the threat over for our area for now?
That is the great news here tonight. Our severe threat over with. We are watch free. We are warning free at this point in time. There may still be some gusty winds, especially closer to the Mississippi River side here at this point in time. I'm talking about Houston, Almaquee, Winnebago County here at this hour. But for the most part, the initial line of storms is crossing the river. So looking at some lighter, maybe more moderate rainfall still possible here at this time. We'll continue with the rain for a couple more hours, but zooming further out, the cold front still well off to the west. It'll eventually catch up, push out these storms here later tonight, but a couple hours of some rainfall is still possible, especially before midnight. By about 1, 2 a.m. We'll be eliminating that rain activity for the area and look at some dry conditions for tomorrow morning's commute and all day Friday. So still a couple more hours of some wet weather, but if you're wanting to head to bed tonight, you are safe to do so. All clear for southern Minnesota and northern Iowa with that severe threat tonight. Tomorrow, sneak peek at that forecast. Absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully you're able to get outside, soak up the sunshine, and a lot drier air on the backside of the approaching cold front. We had dew points today in the 50s and 60s. What I've been seeing so far with readings is reports of dew points in the 30s and 40s behind that cold front. So dry air will be, I'm sure, welcome to many here by tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Sarah. We'll check back in soon.
Tomorrow's forecast, fantastic if you want to get outside, whether that's taking a walk or playing pickleball. A beautiful day. We'll have some much drier air in place. We'll see dew points in the 30s, the 40s. Looking forward to widespread sunshine and high temperatures, very seasonal, into the 50s and some 60s. More on that forecast is ahead, including the first alert to another round of storms on the way by early next week. Things a lot quieter in the area here today as we track ahead for tomorrow. We're looking at some sunshine on the way for the area. Looking, though, continuing to keep an eye on some showers still lingering in the area this evening. We are continuing to gear up for, though, some really beautiful weather here for your Friday. As we take a look at future track radar at this point in time, the leading edge of those thunderstorms pretty much out of the area here at this point in time. Still, though, some areas of some light to moderate rainfall happening here still through the Rochester area back towards Austin, Mason City, Charles City. Not as much thunder, not as much lightning, but still certainly seeing a bit of some moisture still remaining. So we'll see a couple more hours here with some rainfall. We're waiting for that cold front to catch up. You can see that cold front back towards western Minnesota. Eventually that will move through the area here overnight, leading to drier, more comfortable air in place for tomorrow. Things still active, though. Severe storms happening to our southeast there and to our south of the Waterloo area and south of the I-80 corridor there through central Iowa. Here's a look at those current temperatures and dew points. Like I said, still a pretty moisture-rich atmosphere overhead with dew points in the 50s, 60s. Notice, though, back towards Mankato and especially into western Minnesota where the cold front has already gone through, dew points into the 30s. Temperatures, though, are still holding pretty steady in the 50s, but it's the dew points that are the big talking point that we'll certainly notice by tomorrow. A look at future track radar here for the rest of tonight. Still seeing the possibility of some light to moderate rain showers in the coming next couple hours. Most of this rain activity, though, should be out of here by about 2 to 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Again, with that cold front pushing further to the east as well. So clearing out cloud cover and looking forward to some dry, sunny skies and a quiet and easy Friday morning commute for the region. Heading into tomorrow, we'll look to see that widespread sunshine here across southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. Temperatures will be seasonal into those upper 50s, more so low 60s across the area. So gearing up for a beautiful stretch of weather tomorrow and Saturday. However, focus already shifting to our next weather maker. I want to give you the first alert to the possibility of some thunderstorm activity come Monday, and we're going to keep an eye out for maybe some isolated strong storms come Monday. Right now, Storm Prediction Center does have a level 2 out of a level 5 severe threat over North Iowa counties here in our area, a good chunk of Iowa by Monday. Watch this very closely tomorrow and throughout the weekend to see what those changes and adjustments are. If we could be looking at potential for another round of strong to severe thunderstorms in the area by Monday. Here's a look at that 10-day forecast. We'll look at the quiet weather here through Saturday. We'll gear up for that storm chance on Monday. Notice, though, next week, potentially as far out as next weekend, conditions looking very quiet, sunny, temperatures seasonal into the 50s. So looking forward to not only those couple days here tomorrow, Saturday, and most likely the first half of Sunday, but much of next week and next weekend. All eyes on that. A lot quieter, no first alert days on that 10-day forecast here tonight.
Besides a little bit of rain, great forecast, but we still could use the moisture.
Could use the moisture, although a lot of people are hoping for some dry weather to get some spring planting done. So
next week might be the answer to that for you, Brock.
Okay, we like that news, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast here for the Austin, Mason City, and Winona areas. Beautiful, beautiful weather ahead for Friday. I will be drying out just in time for the morning commute tomorrow. Afternoon high temperatures climbing into the 60s. I think upper 50s, mainly low 60s here across the board for the area and widespread sunshine. We will look to track a mostly quiet weekend here Saturday and into Sunday, but I do think late Sunday and into Monday we'll track more shower and thunderstorm chances, especially on Monday. We'll be keeping a close eye on North Iowa. Maybe an opportunity there for some strong thunderstorm activity. Following that next storm threat, possibly there on Monday and the rest of next week, even looking further out to next weekend, looking mighty nice for us here in southern Minnesota and North Iowa. Nick? Let's take one final look at that 10-day forecast. Right now, no first alert days on the 10-day forecast here. Instead, we're enjoying some beautiful sunshine here for tomorrow. Seasonal temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s for Friday. That continues into Saturday. Sunday, we'll see some dry conditions for the morning. Maybe late in the evening, a chance for a few showers. Better chance for some thunderstorm activity come Monday. We're keeping a close eye on Monday. Now the focus shifting here to early next week. Following Monday, looking at several days, pretty much the rest of that work week and into the weekend, where we could be looking at some sunshine and seasonal temps there in the 50s.
We'll dry out for a little bit. Good, enough time to get some work done in the yard or farming.
Anything with a good stretch of weather. It's good to be back with you guys. I was
miss
off
you.
doing some of that already, and more to come for sure.
Well, glad to have you back. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Your morning news starts at 4:30. Good night, everyone.